Hello, in this lesson, we're going to learn the basic template for drawing sexy comic book faces. This is as important as learning the proportions in figure drawing. If the proportions don't look right, it don't matter how good you draw each individual body part, the figure will look wrong. Same thing with the face. If you don't have the proportions of the face looking right, then no matter how good you draw eyes and noses and mouths and individual parts, the whole entire face is going to look off. Then after this, we'll get into drawing individual parts, like how to draw different types of comic eyes and noses and mouths, and then also how to use different tips and tricks that I use in my free graphic novel, endofallcomic.com, like how to draw faces that are tiny in a small little panel without, because you can't add all those details. All right, so let's get started with the template. So the first thing you want to do is just draw the best circle you can. I highly recommend practicing drawing circles. And so you just start with the circle here. You want to make it, again, as perfectly round as possible. I'm drawing with Manga Studio, but you can choose to draw with whatever you want to draw with. You can follow with pencil and paper and eraser. You can follow with Photoshop or whatever program you're using. First thing is divide it down the center here, then divide it down the center here. This is going to be true for whether we're drawing the front view, 3/4 view, so forth. We'll go through the template of other views after we learn the front view first. So this right here is right about where the eyebrows are going to be. I want my eyes to be a little bit lower than that. So you can actually think about dividing this whole entire piece here in half if you wanted to. And then that's kind of like where you can fit the eyes in this section here. And then the nose is going to fit down here at the bottom. Now, for now, I just draw a small circle. That's like a template for how big the nose will be. I like to imagine this kind of triangle shape here coming up. I don't want that triangle to be too big. If the triangle looks too big, then I drew something incorrectly. Keep in mind that eyes are an eye length apart, and so we want to make sure we have that in our template. You can divide. I like to cut off the edges of the circle here because I don't like my faces to be too wide. Now it's up to you. This is just for me how you saw the face in the beginning. That's how I drew her. So I like to imagine this being divided into four lengths, and that's how big I want my eyes to be. And so I take that length. If you want to take that measurement perfectly, you can with a ruler, or you can use your thumb and your pencil, however you want to do it. And so it's going to be half. It's going to be that length. So that same length, that's how wide or how my eyeballs will be. Then have that same length in between the eyes themselves. This is the center of the eyeball. You just want to kind of make this pretty close. I like using this shape for the beginning of my eyes. I'll make this one just a little bit bigger, like so. This is the basic template right here. If you get this down right, everything else is going to follow and look correct. Again, this is where my nose is going to fall in line. Now, the bottom of the jaw, I find this to be the easiest way. Once you have this top part figured out, just put a basic idea where you want the eyebrows to be. Now, eyebrows can come in different shapes and sizes, but typically they're going to extend out a little bit longer on each side than the length of the eye itself. I like to imagine this piece of skin that comes off like this right here. All right, so if you kind of imagine this kind of shape like this will help you draw your eyes a little bit better. And then you have that kind of bump in the skull right here. That part right there is important to understand, and that's what the eyebrow falls on top of. Everything else in here kind of sinks in, especially around the eye. We'll get into that more later. For now, we're just trying to figure out the basic template of the face. This next part's really important because it's all about whether the mouth is open or closed and how big you're going to make the jaw. Typically, I try to draw a mouth in here about the size I want my whole entire mouth to be. Take a line and come straight down from the center of the eye and come down. That's where the very edge of your mouth would be, unless you want a slightly larger mouth than normal. But typically, when you want to draw a sexy face, that's where the edge of the mouth will be. You can kind of draw a line through the center here. Now, if you take an idea and you just want to like feel it out, this is how I feel it out for the size of the mouth. This measurement here, though, you can actually get, if you want it to be exact, you can. It doesn't have to be exact, it just has to look good. But if you want an exact measurement, it's about the height of your eye. Now, how to figure out the height of your eye in relation to everything else? Remember that we took a perfect circle and we cut it in half, and then we took that area and we cut that in half again, which is right about where the bottom of the eye sits. If you take that and cut it in half again, you can see that the eye is a little bit wider than that. Take that and cut it in half again. That's about the length of the height of the eye. You can make it a little bit shorter, a little bit taller. That's about the same length here. The lips are going to be just a little bit wider than that. Depends on the lips, depends on how big of lips you want, but this is typically the template that I use. And then for the space between the bottom lip and her chin is going to be a little bit longer than an eyeball. And here's, you can mess with this, make it a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, but typically for comic books, for the sexy face, you want it to be shorter than what it would be for an actual real face. I like to draw it just like let's say that's how big the mouth is. So this is going to come up right here to the inside of the eye. So take the inside of the eye and kind of draw a line straight down. That's about how wide the chin's going to be. Now, if you draw a line coming straight out from the middle of the mouth, this is where the turn of the jaw will happen. The ears are going to fit right into the upper part of the eyebrow and go down to the lower part of the nose. That's about the size of the ear. Of course, from the front view, we won't see as much of that, but we're just going to kind of put basic shapes in there for right now. From that bottom of the ear, you start to curve your line in. So if you imagine a straight line coming down, that's the angle which you kind of want your jaw coming in like that. And then you want to have, and still imagine it's coming down, or draw another straight line right here, just so we can kind of see the next angle. The next angle is a little bit different. It comes like pretty much almost connect like a straight line. So at first you can connect a straight line to those 2 points from here to here. Then you want to just kind of round all this out. And how much you round that part out is going to determine how younger the female could look. Right, so there you have it. Now we can add, more. This is the basic shapes here. We're going to come in a little bit to the eye right here, come out for the head, just a tiny bit. And that right there gives us our basic template for a head. Hairline can be up to you, but typically hairline for a sexy female is going to be shorter, right about in there. And then I like to have my hair come right out here, covering my ears and all that. If I'm going to have hair coming down, it's outside of this area here. And then you can have the hairline come up a little bit higher, depends how much bounce your hair has. Comes out and down, out and down. This is the basic idea. The neck is up to you. Now I like to have the neck come in a little bit thinner for sexy comic characters, for females, about like that right there. Right, that's the basic template of the face. Then we can go ahead and draw in the center of our eye here. We'll learn more about drawing eyes individually, but this right here, like I said, is the template that I like to follow. If you follow this template, you're going to draw a sexy face. Now we'll go ahead and quickly draw a face onto this really fast in a sped up mode, just so we can see that this template does work. And then we'll go into drawing the individual parts from the front view, drawing the eyes, the nose, and the mouth, and ears, and then just simple hair. And after that, then we'll go into 3/4 views, like where the head's slightly turned, and then the profile view, which is the side view. Right now I'm going to use an ink brush and speed this up so you can just see what the end result will look like. That way you have an idea of what you're going to be drawing, and that you can see that this indeed does work and creates good looking faces. All right, so here I am drawing in a sped up version to show you, just to give you guys a glimpse at what it's going to look like, when you're done. So once you learn how to draw eyes individually, the nose individually, the mouth individually, and then basics of hair, you're going to be able to see how you can transform this template. But make sure you get the template down right first. So as an exercise, you want to practice drawing this template over and over again until it looks correct. You want it to look absolutely correct. And make sure if you have to sit there and measure out, then measure it all out. I'll go ahead and leave a template, an actual picture of the template itself in the lesson. So on the right hand side of the lesson, you just click on the, I think it's the image icon, and you'll be able to take that and download it and then look at it and make sure you're actually drawing it correctly, or either trace over it, print it out and trace over it a couple of times, make sure you get it right, or take the template and copy and paste it into your favorite drawing program that you're drawing with, and then draw right over it to make sure that you're drawing it correctly. But honestly, the template isn't that hard, but it could be a little bit difficult at first if you're not used to it. You really got to drill that into your head. So before you start learning how to draw the eyes, the nose, and mouth, make sure you have that template down right. Because if you don't have that template down right, like I said, it don't matter how good your eyes look individually, how good your mouths look, and all that kind of stuff. If you plug them into the wrong template, meaning the wrong proportions of the face, the whole entire thing's just not going to look right. And you might not know why it doesn't look right. And other people will be like, oh, it looks kind of cool, but something doesn't look right, and they're not really sure what it is. And what it is the proportions of the face aren't right. Again, the proportions of a comic face are a little different than proportions of a realistic face. If you just take a photo of a person like Jessica Alba and just trace over it and then delete the photo, you're going to see that that comic just doesn't quite look as sexy as an actual comic character. So that's why I'm teaching you the actual comic proportions that you'll see in very popular comics by Marvel, DC, and Top Cow is I think another one, and so forth. Right, so I went with the kind of an interesting, I think, hairstyle here, kind of influenced by the Suicide Squad that has been the trailers have been on YouTube and stuff lately. Then I just add a little bit of shadow here just to kind of bring a little bit of life to the image. And this is, you can do this really fast and just have like a black and white comic book and it'll look really cool and lively. But as you can see, she comes out really good, she comes out cute, and it's all following that template. So once you know that template, then it's just a matter of drawing cute eyes, cute noses, and cute mouths. You'll have cute faces all the time. Right, so as you can see, it's a completely different face than what I drew before. And I kind of like the very cutesy young look that I got here. And this is all about what you choose for how you shape the jaw. And that's gonna be the main thing. Like how you shape that jaw is gonna really define the face overall. And that's just a simple of just changing the shape of the jaw. In this case, I went with a little bit more roundness. You can go with a more hardness, and we'll go through that. And the type of lips, nose, and eyes you give them and eyebrows can really change their overall appearance. And of course, the hairstyle you give them will also change the overall character. And this I was kind of influenced by watching Suicide Squad trailers and the way her hair is in that. It's kind of cool. So I think that kind of drew off that kind of look. But of course, put into comic book style. Right, so that's it for the template. You can see that the template works and you can get nice very quickly from your imagination. This is not looking at anything. This is just from my imagination being able to draw this. So you're going to be able to do that by the end of this course. You're going to be able to take this knowledge, use that template. You can adjust it a little bit, to get different styles of faces. Once you know how to draw individual eyes and noses and mouths and stuff, you can plug it in there and you can draw the face from your imagination. And then we'll go through, like I said, the 3/4 view and also the side view. All right, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it so far.